discuss about the automotive transmission lab, the various systems which are connected in the automotive transmission lab. The course code of this particular lab is AUT62. The following experiments will be conducted in this particular lab. The first and the foremost thing is this particular lab has to go on with the technical specification of the various vehicles. Now, why is it called as an automotive transmission lab? So, we are going to concentrate only on the transmission system. Soon after the engine, whatever the component comes is your clutch, and clutch to the gearbox, gearbox to the propeller shaft to the differential, and differential to the rail axle. So, these are the various stages of the transmission which we are going to go through. Now, in this particular, as I mentioned just 1 minute ago regarding the technical specification, so we should know the each and every vehicle category technical specification in this regard. So, this technical specification, whatever we are going to conduct is for the comparison between the various transmission, how it is happening in the various category of the vehicles. And soon after that, we are going to study the hand tools of what hand tools we are going to use this for the particular lab. Then we are going to go to the troubleshooting of the various experiments which we are going to conduct. Along with that, we are actually conducting the experiment, that means we are going to troubleshoot the various experiments then and there. So, starting with the experiments is the first 3 experiments are the technical specification, the study of hand tools, and the troubleshooting. The fourth one is the dismantle and assemble of a single plate clutch. So, here we are going to do the troubleshooting of the single plate clutch, and we are going to assemble it back. We are going to take the observations, and then we are going to assemble it back. Then comes the dismantle and assemble of gearbox unit. Okay, we are having a constant mesh gearbox where we are going to dismantle each and every component of the gearbox, the driving gear, then supporting gears, then the driven gears, the lay shaft gears. We are going to find the number of teeth on the various gears. We are going to find the gear ratios of the various gears, and then finally we are going to obtain what is the output of the gearbox. And soon after the gearbox, it is connected to the propeller shaft. So, what is the propeller shaft rolling is and wobbling of propeller shaft? All these things are considered in the propeller shaft. And then it is going to the differential. The differential works on the principle of the epicyclic gear. So, each and every gear which is being present is being considered for the epicyclic gear. Sun and planet gear assembly is being considered. Crown wheel is there in the case of the differential gear assembly. From the differential, it is being connected to the rear axle, and for rear axle, it is connected to the wheel. So, this the third experiment is the dismantle and assemble of the differential, and the fourth experiment is dismantle and assemble of the rear axle. Fifth is the dismantle and assemble of the front axle. So, these are the various hands-on experiments. The first 3 is being considered as a non-hands-on. Whatever the 1, 2, 3, 4 which I have mentioned is nothing but the hands-on experiments. Then after that, we are going to sketch the various door mechanisms and the seating layout of the commercial vehicle or a passenger vehicle. So, these are the set of experiments which are included in the automotive transmission lab. So, we are going to conduct the experiment called as gearbox, dismantle and assemble of gearbox now in another 2 minutes. Today we are going to conduct the experiment on the dismantle and assemble of the gearbox unit. So, what is the aim of the experiment? To determine the various gear ratios and the number of teeth on the given gearbox by dismantling, and again after taking the observation, assembling it. So, what are the components required? The components required here is a constant mesh gearbox. So, there are basically 3 types of gearboxes which are manually used. The one is the sliding mesh gearbox, second one is the constant mesh gearbox, and the third one is the synchro mesh gearbox. So, for the purpose of this particular experiment, we are going to use the constant mesh gearbox, and this is being taken up from the Ashok Leyland vehicle. Okay, this is a gearbox unit of an Ashok Leyland bus. Okay, and so what are the various tools that we are going to use? We are going to use the tools, the hammer, we are going to use the tape, then cutting plier, outside caliper, inside caliper, then open end spanner, ring spanner, vernier caliper, feeler gauges, and we are going to use the socket box units for the dismantling and assembling of the given gearbox. So, now whatever we have seen is an exploded view of the gearbox unit. So, what exactly, how is it going to function? So, this is your selector mechanism. So, here in this selector mechanism, these are the selector forks and these are the selector rods, and this particular case is going to go to the idler gear. So, here for the reverse gear we are having a separate selector, but for the remaining gears we are having the 2 gears is being considered for the one selector. So, this is how your gearbox tends to function. If we can observe this particular gearbox, which you can see here in this particular case is your complete assembled gearbox unit is this. The complete assembled gearbox unit is this particular case. You can see this is your transmission, same Ashok Leyland itself, and this is your exploded view of the gearbox which we are seeing. So now starting from the gearbox, the left hand side is nothing but the clutch shaft. The clutch shaft is always connected to the clutch gear, then to the fourth gear, third gear, second gear, first gear, and the reverse gear assembly. Then in between, if we can observe here in this particular case, you can see a small gear which is being provided called as the idler gear assembly. Here we are having the selectors is connected to the docks. These are called the docks. So when these docks are kept in the position, this is called as a neutral. So that the docks are not engaged to any gears when you are getting the neutral position. So whenever your docks are engaged to the particular gears onto the sleeves, it is called as the particular gears which is engaged. So how does this drive goes to it? So this is called as the main shaft, and the lower one is called as the lay shaft. This is called as the lay shaft. This is called as the main shaft. So your drive is coming from the main shaft. So when you are having the top gear, so the drive directly goes here to the output shaft. So this is called as the output shaft, and this is called as the input shaft. So the drive is directly going means it is the gearbox is functioning at the top gear. So whenever your gear has to be changed, for example for the first gear, so the drive comes here like this and then goes to the first gear, and then you are getting the drive. So it is in the shape of a U which is being formed when we are considering the gearbox. So depending upon the different gears, we are going to select the docks which is going to the different gears to obtain the various speeds. So in this way we can actually calculate the different gear ratios. Now how do you calculate the gear ratios here in this case is, we are going to first calculate TA by T3. For example, this particular gear is A, the one which is connected to the A is called as B in the lay shaft. Then if you consider this as your D, the one which is connected in the lay shaft is called as C. So it's TA by TB into TC by TD. So this is called as the driving by driven into driving by driven again. So it is TA by TB into TD by TC. So this is your gear ratio calculation, for example for gear 1. So similarly for gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, it goes on increases since we are doing it. And for reverse gear ratio, we are using the number of teeth in the idler gear assembly. So these are the following cases that we are going to consider, and there are some observations which we are supposed to consider in this particular case. So these are the observations which we are supposed to consider is the number of teeth on the idler gear, the main shaft diameter, the lay shaft diameter, which will be calculated by the outside calipers. Then we are having the gear numbers, the number of teeth on the main shaft, the number of teeth on the lay shaft, and the gear ratio can be calculated by this formula. So the results is nothing but the gear ratios of the given gearbox are determined and assembled. So this is the overall case of the dismantle and assemble.